Keeping venomous reptiles is an unforgiving hobby, requiring proper training and lots of experience. One simple mistake can be the difference between life and death. Remember, the most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. There are no venomous snakes with training wheels. Just because you see viperkeeper handle snakes a certain way does not mean you should try it too.
The Echis ocellatus are in breeding mode. That's the male that's doing the herky-jerky. The female, who primarily likes to eat live mice, already killed the mouse and was on her way to pursue the kill. And the male scooted out of the hut where he was curled up and is trying to breed with her. And you can see him with a typical herky-jerky motion that is supposed to entice the female into having sex with the male. You can see at the back end there, the tail is searching for the female's cloaca, but I think the female is trying to get over to the mouse, which is over here closer to the water dish, and she's not really interested in sex right now. She's interested in food. I'm not going to open the cage and disturb them, but the female is already in the process of gobbling the mouse, and the male is busy trying to insert one of his hemipenis into the female, although he does seem somewhat interested in the mice. The male generally eats frozen thawed mice quite readily, so I'll leave one in the cage for him later. Once he gets this sexual appetite taken care of, I will see if he's interested in eating. It is breeding season, so we'll have to keep our eyes out for eggs somewhere down the road. He hasn't quite got into position there, and you can see him, head bobbing and tongue flicking the female there. As she's busily chowing down. He's going for it, but she's not raising her tail, which usually signifies that she's interested in breeding, because right now she's interested in eating. So we're going to let them do their thing, and I'll feed the male later. Oh, there goes the male. He's like, all right, she's not in the mood. I'm out of here. Over in this cage, we have Echis leucogaster, the male here in the front, who has been known since he's arrived here in 2017 to be fond of eating live mice, but he previously killed a mouse and just swallowed it. So this is the female there towards the back of the cage, and I threw in a second live mouse, and she favors live food. That's all I can get her to eat. So I threw a mouse in, and she tagged it, and now I'm sort of just standing guard to make sure that the male doesn't eat it, and she goes off and successfully eats. This is always the problem, keeping more than one snake in the same cage. A, they can display food aggression, and B, Sometimes one is eating and the other one is not, and it takes some time to figure that out. Now I may have to intervene and boop him on the snoot or spray his head down with water if he makes a move for that mouse. He's already had his fair share. Hopefully he will head in a direction other than where that mouse is. He is sort of a favorite of mine, and I kept him by himself for a long time because he was the victim of domestic violence. I don't think it was this female, but a different female bit him in the head to let him know in no uncertain terms to leave her mouse alone. And he had a bit of a brain bleed because one of his pupils was dilated and didn't really contract the light, so I moved him into a cage all by himself. And subsequently, after a long time, he recovered. The bleed was absorbed by his body, and his pupil isn't exactly normal these days. However, it's pretty close back to normal, so I decided to put him in with this female, and I'm hopefully not going to have to give him some sort of deterrent. Hopefully the female will go over there and find it. She's got her tongue in the air, and I think the male is sort of dull looking right now because I think he's ready to shed. But I sort of have to watch over the situation to make sure that she gets food and he doesn't get a double portion. Alright, the male is come this way, the female is going that way. This all seems to be okay at the moment. You know, he keeps on sort of rubbing his face, which leads me to believe that yes, he is going to shed. Oop. Go the other way, girly. He's a pretty good-natured bloke. But, you know, Sawscales are rather irascible and unfriendly. And, you know, I really wouldn't want one to bite the other. Because although they're resistant to their own venom, it doesn't mean that they're totally immune. And depending on where the bite occurs on the body, sometimes determines the outcome. So I'm trying to stand here as still as I can, not to distract the female, although the male's certainly trying hard. Now we can tell that that's a male because of the shape of his tail. Come on, girlie, go that way. Good boy, go into your hut. Come on, keep going. You're going in the right direction. There you go. Now again, I really would like to open the glass, but I want the animal to eat. I don't want to, give you a higher quality view of the action. I don't want to disturb the snake. And of course, when we disturb the snake, it doesn't eat, and that poor mouse goes to waste. He's coming back out, and she's investigating. Of course, he has mouse on his breath because he's already eaten one mouse. Come on, girlie. Sometimes they forget how to snake. All right, good. Dude, go in there. You curl around the other direction to your 11 o'clock there, girlie. Echis in general are certainly one of the two snakes that cause the vast majority of snakebite death in the world. Echis as a genus is of course these Sawscale vipers. The other genus is just behind me, and that's Daboia, the Russell's vipers, although there are other species of Daboia that are not Russell's vipers, but it's Russell's vipers and Sawscales generally for the kill. Now I see the male has moved to the way back underneath the faux bush there. Come on, girlie, get your act together. Her little tongue flicks are trying to locate the highest concentration of mouse scent in that particular room, and that is another reason why I don't want to open the cage door, because it will allow the room scents to get in there and confuse her. Come on, come on. Why are you making this so difficult on yourself? That's right. Go in that direction. That's where your food is. Now, believe it or not, their ability to chemosense is so enhanced that they can actually tell that it is the mouse that they indeed bit and not some other mouse. There we go. Now we have progress. Researchers have actually allowed the snakes to bite a prey item, let the prey item die, and remove it and replace it with another one, and the snake will know the difference. They put the two mice in a maze and put the snake in the maze, and a large percentage of the time the mouse that was actually bitten is the one that the snake will gravitate to. Now, why'd you spit it out, huh? Sometimes, babysitting these animals, it's like watching paint dry sometimes, because, you've got to, in some cases, like if there's more than one snake in a cage, you have to sort of make sure that everybody gets their fair share and there's no conflict. And other times, even if they're the only snake in their cage, sometimes they'll totally forget what they're doing and leave the prey item and end up not eating it because they forgot about it or couldn't find it. All right, well, we're going to end this here and move on because it looks like she's got what she came for, and everybody gets their meal.